Chapter 3 Success Winning Strategies Part 2 Qualities that make a person successful. Point 1 Desire. The motivation to succeed comes from the burning desire to achieve a purpose. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve." A young man asked Socrates the secret to success. Socrates told the young man to meet him near the river the next morning. They met. Socrates asked the young man to walk with him toward the river. When the water got up to their necks, Socrates took the young man by surprise and dunked him under the water. The boy struggled to get out, but Socrates was strong and held him down. When the boy started turning blue, Socrates raised the boy's head out of the water. The first thing the young man did was to gasp and take a deep breath of air. Socrates asked, "What did you want the most when you were underwater?" The boy replied, "Air." Socrates said, "That is the secret to success. When you want success as intensely as you wanted air underwater, then you will have it. There is no other secret." A burning desire is the starting point of all accomplishment. Just like a small fire cannot give much heat, a weak desire cannot produce good result. Point 2 Commitment. Try not to become a success, but rather try to become a man of value. By Albert Einstein. Integrity and wisdom are the two pillars on which to build and keep commitment. This point is best illustrated by the manager who told one of his staff member, "Integrity is keeping your commitment even if you lose money, and wisdom is not to make such foolish commitments." Prosperity and success are the result of our thoughts and decisions. It is for us to decide what thoughts will dominate our lives. Success is not an accident. It is the result of our attitude. Playing to win requires commitments. There is a big difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. When we play to win, we play with enthusiasm and commitment. Whereas when we play not to lose, we are playing from a position of weakness. When we play not to lose, we are playing to avoid failures. We all want to win, but very few are prepared to pay the price to prepare to win. Winners conditions and commit themselves to winning. Playing to win comes out of inspiration, whereas playing not to lose comes out of desperation. There are no ideal circumstances. There never will be. To reach any destination, you can neither drift nor lie at anchor. You need to sometimes sail with the wind and sometimes against it, but you sail, you must. Ask any coach or athlete to define the difference between the best and the worst team. There would be very little difference in the players' physique, talent, and ability. The biggest difference is an emotional difference. The winning team has dedication and they make the extra effort. They have a stronger desire to win. To a winner, the tougher the competition. The greater the incentive, the stronger the motivation, the better the performance, and the sweeter the victory. New challenges develop new potential. Most athletes' best performances have come when the odds were slightly against them. That is when they dig deeper into their emotional reservoirs. When I had get tired and want to stop, I had wondered what my next opponent was doing. When I could see him still working, I had started pushing myself. When I could see him in the shower, I had pushed myself harder. Dan Gable, Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. Success is not in the achievement, but in the achieving. Some people never try because they are afraid to lose. At the same time, they don't want to stay where they are because they are afraid to be left behind. There is a risk either way. Ships that go out into the open water face risk from a storm. But if they sit in the harbor, they would rust anyway, and that is not what they were built for. The difference between playing to win and playing not to lose is that you cannot be committed and not take risk. People who play to win thrive on pressures, and those who play not to lose don't know how to succeed. Pressure makes people who play to win prepare harder. For those who play not to lose, the pressure saps their energy. They want to win, but they are so afraid of losing that they cannot reach their full potential. They lose energy worrying about losing instead of concentrating their efforts on winning. Losers want security, winners seek opportunity. Losers are more afraid of life than death. Failing is not a crime, but lack of effort is. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. By Vince Lombardi. Conviction leads to commitment. There is a difference between preference and conviction. Preferences are negotiable, convictions are not. Preferences give way under pressure, convictions become stronger. That is why it is important to have a good value system so that our convictions are worthy, because convictions in turn lead to commitment. Point 3, responsibility. A duty which becomes a desire will ultimately become a delight. By George Gritter. People with character accept responsibilities. They make decisions and determine their own destiny in life. Accepting responsibilities involve taking risk and being accountable, which is sometimes uncomfortable. Most people would rather stay in their comfort zones and live passive lives without accepting responsibilities. They drift through life waiting for things to happen rather than making them happen. Accepting responsibilities involves taking calculated, not foolish, risk. It means evaluating all the pros and cons, then taking the most appropriate decisions or action. Responsible people don't think that world owes them a living. You cannot bring about prosperity by discouraging thrift. You cannot strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. You cannot enrich the poor by impoverishing the rich. You cannot establish sound security on borrowed money. You cannot help the wage earner by pulling down the wage payers. You cannot build character and courage by taking away man's initiative and independence. You cannot further the brotherhood of man by inciting class hatred. You cannot keep out of trouble by spending more than you earn. You cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they could and should do for themselves. By Abraham Lincoln. If you are climbing an icy mountain or fighting a war, a mistake may kill you. However, for most of us, our reaction to the mistakes we make are more important than the mistakes themselves. Responsible people accept and learn from their mistakes. Some people never learn. We can do 3 things about mistakes: ignore them, deny them, accept, learn from them, and not repeat them. The third alternative takes courage. It is risky but rewarding. If instead we defend our weaknesses, we actually start building our lives around them, making them a center point rather than overcoming them. When things go wrong, negative people play the blame game. The retiring president of a company, after a stand-up farewell, gave 2 envelopes marked number 1 and number 2 to the incoming president and said, "Whenever you run into a management crisis you cannot handle by yourself, open envelope number 1. At the next crisis, open the second one." A few years later, a major crisis came. The president went into the safe and pulled out the first envelope. It said, "Blame it on your predecessor." A few years later, a second crisis came. The president went for the second envelope and it said, "Prepare 2 envelopes for your successor." Point 4. Hard work. Luck. I don't know about luck. I have never banked on it, and I am afraid of people who do. Luck to me is something else. Hard work and realizing what is opportunity and what is not. By Lucille Ball. Success is not something that you run into by accident. It takes a lot of preparation and character. Everyone likes to win, but most people aren't willing to put in the effort and the time to prepare to win. It takes sacrifices and self-discipline. There is no substitute of hard work. Henry Ford said, "The harder you work, the luckier you get." The world is full of willing workers, some willing to work and the others willing to let them. I like to work half a day. I don't care if it is the first 12 hours or the second 12 hours. By Clemens Wilson, CEO of Holiday Inn. Just as a person cannot learn to spell by sitting on a dictionary or cannot develop a capacity to do anything without hard work, professionals make things look easy because they have mastered the fundamentals of whatever they do. If people knew how hard I had to work to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem wonderful at all. By Michelangelo. The average person puts only 25% of his energy and ability into his work. The world takes off its hat to those who put in more than 50% of their capacity and stand on its head for those few and far between souls who devote 100%. By Andrew Carnegie. Successful people ask how much work, not how little work. They ask how many hours, not how few. The best musicians practice every day, often for hours. Winners don't need to apologize for winning because they work long and hard. Everything that we enjoy is a result of someone's hard work. Some work is visible while other go unseen, but ultimately both are equally important. So take pride in your work, and whenever there is a chance, show appreciation for the hard work of others by treating their work with care and respect. Work hard and well, and you will have the satisfaction of seeing your project completed. Sometimes others may show appreciation, but that's a bonus, for the major satisfaction comes from within. Some people stop working as soon as they find a job. Regardless of the unemployment statistics, it is hard to find good people to work. Many people don't understand the difference between idle time and leisure time. Idle time amounts to wasting or stealing time. Leisure time is earned. Enjoying leisure time leaves us energized and refreshed. Idle time saps our energy. Procrastinating is the idle time. Excellence is not luck. It is the result of a lot of hard work and practice. Hard work and practice makes a person better at whatever he is doing. Far and away the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at something worth doing. By Theodore Roosevelt. Hard work is both a beginning and an end in itself. The harder a person works, the better he feels, and the better he feels, he harder works. The best ideas will not work unless you work the ideas. Great talent without willpower and hard work is a waste. We need to learn from nature. The duck keeps paddling relentlessly underneath but appears smooth and calm on the top. Once, when the great violinist Fritz Kreisler finished a concert, someone came up to the stage and said, "I had given my life to play the way you do." Kreisler replied, "I did." There is no magic wand for success. In the real world, success comes to doers and not observers. A horse that pulls cannot kick. A horse that kicks cannot pull. Let's pull and stop kicking. Without hard work, there is no success. Nature gives birds their food but doesn't put it in their nest. They have to work hard for it. Nothing comes easily. Milton rose every morning at 4 a.m. to write Paradise Lost. It took Noah Webster 36 years to compile Webster's dictionary. Even small accomplishments require hard work. The smallest of accomplishments is better than the biggest talk. Point 5. Character. Character is the sum total of a person's value, belief, and personality. It is reflected in our behavior and in your actions. It needs to be preserved more than the richest jewel in the world. To be a winner takes character. George Washington said, "I hope I shall always possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most valuable of all titles, the character of an honest man." It is not the polls of public opinion, but the character of the leader that determines the course of history. There is no twilight zone in integrity. The road to success has many pitfalls. It takes a lot of character and efforts not to fall into them. It also takes character not to be disheartened by critics. Why do most people love success but hate successful people? Whenever a person rises above the average, plenty of people are ready to pull him down. Chances are pretty good when you see a person on top of a hill that he just didn't get there by default but had to endure a tough climb. It is no different in life. In any profession, a successful person will be envied by those who are not successful. Critics have always been sitting at the sidelines. They are underachievers who shout at doers, telling them how to do it right. But remember, critics aren't the leaders or doers. Don't let criticism distract you from reaching your goal. Average people play it safe to avoid criticism by saying doing or being nothing. They avoid criticism and guarantee that they remain average. The more you accomplish, the more you risk being criticized. The Critic is one who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing by Oscar Wilde. No one likes to be criticized, but we learn and grow from honest criticism, just as it takes character not to be disheartened by critics. It also takes character to listen to critics. It is very important to be able to distinguish honest criticism from jealousy inspired criticism. This is a skill that successful people have. Part of this skill is being able to evaluate the motive of the criticizer. The other part, and perhaps the largest part, is self knowledge. The successful people knows himself well enough to recognize when a particular criticism is valid. Successful people don't like to be criticized any more than anyone else does. But when they deem the criticized valid, they remain calm and in control and listen carefully. They ask for suggestions on how to improve. In fact, successful people often ask for criticism from those whose opinions they trust. They ask, how am I doing? How can I improve? Character is a combination. Character is a combination of integrity, unselfishness, understanding, conviction, courage, loyalty, and respect. What is a pleasant personality with character? It is in a class by itself. It is composure. It is poise. It is sure footedness and confidence without arrogance. It is being considerate. It is never making excuses. It is knowing that courtesy and good manners takes many small sacrifices. It is learning from past mistakes. It has nothing to do with money or blue blood. It never builds itself by destroying others. It is substance, not just form. It is being able to walk with the elite and yet maintain the common touch. It is a gentle word, a kind look, and a good natured smile. It is the secret pride that stands against tyranny. It is being comfortable with oneself and others. It is having the classic touch that gives the winning edge. It works wonders. It accomplishes miracles. It is easy to recognize, hard to define. It is accepting responsibility. It is humility. It is graciousness in victory and defeat. It is not fame and fortune. It is not a plaque. It is permanent. It is intangible. It is being courteous and polite without being subservient. It is being classy without being cocky. It is self discipline and knowledge. It is self contained. It is a gracious winner and an understanding loser. Something in human nature causes us to start slacking off at our moment of greatest accomplishment. As you become successful, you will need a great deal of self discipline not to lose your sense of balance, humility, and commitment. By H. Ross Perot. More difficult than success itself is how we handle success. Many people know how to become successful, but after they become successful, they don't know how to handle it. That is why ability and character go hand in hand. Ability will get you success, character will keep you successful. We don't unfold or discover ourselves. We create and build ourselves into the kind of person we want to be. Character building starts from infancy and goes on until death. Character doesn't need success. It is success, just like a gardener has to keep weeding to prevent weeds from eating the life of the garden. We need to keep building and developing our character by weeding out our faults. Adversity builds and or reveals character. Under adverse circumstances, some people break records and other breaks down. John F. Kennedy once said that it is a mark of character how well a person behaves when things are not going well. When things are going well for us, it is easy to be logical, kind, and gracious. But when things aren't going well and we are under a lot of pressure, some people can't think clearly and snap at others around them, while others remain clear headed and continue to treat others with respect. Adversity reveals a person's character. There is a Russian saying, a hammer shatters glass but forges steel. There is a lot of truth in the saying, are we made of glass or steel? It is the same hammer. Just as carbon determines the quality of steel, character determines the quality of a man. Point 6. Positive believing. What is the difference between positive thinking and positive believing? What if you could actually listen to your thoughts? Are they positive or negative? Are you programming your mind for success or failure? The way in which you think has a profound effect on your performances. Having a positive attitude and being motivated is a choice we make every day. Living a positive life is not easy, but then neither is negative living. Given a choice, I would rather go for a positive living. Positive thinking helps you use your abilities to the fullest. Positive believing is more than positive thinking, it is knowing that positive thinking will work. Positive believing is an attitude of confidence that comes from preparation. Having a positive attitude without making the effort is nothing more than having a wishful dream. The following illustrates positive believing. Several years ago, Lockheed introduced the L1011 TriStar plane to the roughest possible treatment for 18 months, a program that cost $1.5 billion. Hydraulic jacks, electronic sensors, and a computer put the airplane through its paces for more than 36,000 simulated flights, equivalent to 1,000 years of airline services. Without one single malfunction, finally, after thousands of tests, the aircraft was given the seal of approval. Does the Lockheed organization have reasons to believe positively? You bet. There is every reason to believe that this plane is safe to fly because of all the efforts put into the preparation. Point 7. Give more than you get. It is easy to succeed today. If you want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. There is no competition on the extra mile. Are you willing to do a little more than you get paid for? How many people you know are willing to do a little bit more than what they get paid for? Hardly any. Most people don't want to do what they get paid for, and a second category of people want only to do what they can get by with. They fulfill their quotas just to keep their job. Only a small fraction is willing to do a little bit more than what they get paid for. Why do they do more? The advantages of doing more than you get paid for are: you make yourself more valuable regardless of what you do and where you work. It gives you more confidence. People start looking at you as a leader. Others start trusting you. Superiors start respecting you. It breeds loyalty from both your subordinates and your superiors. It generates cooperation. It produces pride and satisfaction. If we go the extra mile, where is the competition? If you work for a man, for heaven's sake, work for him. By Kim Hubbard. Hardworking people are in demand everywhere, regardless of age, experience, or academic qualifications. Hardworking people can work without supervision, are punctual and considerate, listen carefully and carry out instructions accurately, tell the truth, don't sulk when called upon to pitch in at the time of an emergency, are result oriented rather than task oriented, are cheerful and courteous. Always think in terms of giving more than is expected by your customer, friends, spouse, parents, and children. However, you do anything, ask yourself, how can I add value to what I am doing? Or how can I give added value to others? The key to success can be summed up in 4 words and then some more. Winners do what they are supposed to and then some more. Winners do their duty and then some more. Winners are courteous and generous and then some more. Winners can be counted on and then some more. Winner puts in 100% and then some more. Ability without dependability, responsibility, and flexibility is a liability. Why are some highly intelligent people, often with impressive academic qualifications, leaving failures or at best practicing mediocrity? Because they become experts at why things won't work and build a reserve of negative energy. They don't want to do what they get paid for, or they only want to do what they can get by with. No wonder they are living failures. When we give or do more than what we get paid for, we eliminate our competition. In fact, we become the competition. This attitude is much more important than intelligence or a degree. Point 8. The power of persistence. Nothing will take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determinations alone are omnipotent. By Calvin Coolidge. The journey to being your best is not easy. It is full of setbacks. Winners have the ability to overcome and bounce back with even greater resolve. Do not quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the roads you are trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up though the pace seems slow, you may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you are hardest hit. It is when things seem worst that you must not quit. Fritz Kritzel, the great violinist, was once asked, "How do you play so well?" "Are you lucky?" He replied, "It is practice. If I don't practice for a month, the audience can tell the difference. If I don't practice for a week, my wife can tell the difference. If I don't practice for a day, I can myself tell the difference." Persistence results from commitment and leads to determination. There is pleasure in endurance. Athletes put in years of practice for a few seconds or minute of performance. Persistence is a decision. It is a commitment to finish what you start. When we are exhausted, quitting looks good, but winners endure. Ask a winning athlete. He endures pain and finishes what he started. Lots of people who are failure begin well but never finished anything. Persistence comes from purpose. Life without purpose is drifting. A person who has no purpose will never persevere and will never be fulfilled. Point 9. Pride of performance. In today's world, pride in performance has fallen by the wayside because it requires effort and hard work. However, nothing happens unless it is made to happen. When one is discouraged, it is easy to look for shortcuts. However, these should be avoided no matter how great the temptation. Pride comes from within. It is what gives the winning edge. Pride of performance does not represent ego. It represents pleasure with humility. The quality of the work and the quality of the workers are inseparable. Half-hearted efforts does not produce half results. It produces no result. Three people were laying bricks. A passerby asked them what they were doing. The first one replied, "Don't you see I am making a living?" The second one said, "Don't you see I am laying bricks?" The third one said, "I am building a beautiful monument." Here were three people doing the same thing who had totally different perspective on what they were doing. They had three very different attitudes about their work, and would their attitude and affect their performance? The answer is clearly yes. Excellence comes when the performance or performer takes pride in doing his best. Every job is a self-portrait of the person who does it, regardless of what the job is, whether washing cars, sweeping the floor, or painting a house. Do it right the first time, every time. The best insurance for tomorrow is a job well done today. Michelangelo had been working on a statue for many days. He was taking a long time to retouch every small detail. A bystander thought these improvements were insignificant and asked Michelangelo why he bothered with them. Michelangelo replied, "Trifles make perfection, and perfection is no trifle." Most people forget how fast you did a job, but they remember how well it was done. If a man is called to be street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the host of heaven and earth will pause to say, "Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well," by Martin Luther King. The feeling of a job well done is a reward in itself. It is better to do small things well than do many things poorly. Point 10. Be a willing to be a student. Get a mentor. If God and the teacher, yani Guru, are standing together, who does the student salute first? According to Indian culture, the answer is the teacher, because without his direction and help, the student could not have met God. A mentor or teacher is a person whose hindsight can become your foresight. Look for someone who can mentor you. Choose your mentor carefully. A good mentor will guide and give direction, whereas a bad mentor will misguide. Show respect. Be an interested student. An interested student gets the best out of a teacher. The best teachers will not give you something to drink, they will make you thirsty. They will put you on a path to seek answers. Do you have what it takes to be successful? Do all of us have the quality for success? Some people feel they don't. They stay mediocre and fail. But it doesn't have to be that way. All of us possess each other of 10 qualities discussed in this chapter. The qualities may not be developed to the level that you want them to be, but they are there. We may not know that they are there, but when we find out, our performance will change. This is like having $1,000,000 buried in your backyard and not knowing about it. You wouldn't be able to use it, but the moment you find out, your thinking and behavior will change. We all have hidden treasures. All we need to do is to bring them to the surface and use them.